Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. This is Michael here along with Sunil. Today is the week market ending March 22nd, yesterday, Friday, 2024. And really, there's not much news this week. The biggest news is obviously the Fed. But here's some note points. The rally is now heading for the 5th month straight for gains since November, December, January, February, and March. So we are on track to have another positive month. So that's a 5-month rally. Also, we'll talk more in details. The indexes are acting pretty well right now, and some of the stock leaders are starting to emerge again, right? And they're acting well as well. So yeah, like I said, there's not much news this week. Like I said, Wednesday was the big day. Everyone was waiting for what the Fed has to say, and the same story happened again, which is, we have stronger growth, economic-wise, and lower unemployment, still not that high, and we have a little bit of, inflation is still a little bit higher, so but the Fed, let's see here. Yeah, the Fed basically, didn't change their position. So the biggest thing is they'll stay with the 3 cuts still, and I think that's a relief for the market, and hence the market, because everyone thought maybe they're gonna say something about delaying it, but Powell didn't even hint anything like that. In fact, he was asked. I was watching it, the conference, and he was asked quite a few times, whether he will change his tune, and basically, the way he talks about it is like, they're on the path to cut rates more so than to do anything else. So that's really, they really want to do that. Again, I don't know if that has any influence on the Biden administration because of an election year, but anyhow, that's the case right now. And even with the last 2 months data of inflation came out that's a little bit higher than expected, he seems to ignore it. And then one lady, I can't remember who, but she asked, with that 2 months of data that's higher, how many more months of data do you need to see of higher inflation before you change your tune? And he basically said, as long as it takes. He didn't even give a straight answer, which again shows his dedication to cutting rates eventually. Sure, he might eventually, let's say inflation continue to go higher from here, he might delay it. It's possible, right? Comes June, he might actually delay it and not cut in June. So that's something to be aware of. It can still happen, right? Because the data ultimately will be the decision maker. But right now it's too early to say, because we're not. Probably by May conference, right? They're gonna announce whether they'll cut in June. So unless this next 2 months of data is gonna shoot up like crazy on the inflation side, I don't think he'll change his tune, right? Yeah, and I thought maybe he would say something about some negative stuff about the economy, but he really didn't say much. So. Because that's the other side of the story, right? The other side of the story is okay, now the Fed really want to cut rates. Are they cutting rates because the economy is slowing down? How fast is it slowing down? That's the other side of the equation, right? Because if it's slowing down really fast, then it might be a bad thing, right? But he didn't even really mention much of that. He still, like I said, overall he still thinks doing pretty well. So yeah, the target rate that they have for inflation by end of 2024 is actually even higher than previously projected, which is 2.6 versus 2.4. So that's where they're projecting the PCE inflation. So this is the same statement here. And then economic growth forecast, it did go up higher from 2 to 2.1 rather than 1.4. And unemployment rate is now going to be 4, not 4.1. So that's interesting. That one actually dropped. So yeah. So again, This basically call for good economy, decent economy, and moderate inflation. This is so-called the Goldilocks scenario, which is also known as the soft landing. While the large caps outperform the small caps on Monday, the smaller companies turned the table Wednesday. So after the Fed announcement, the small caps was really kind of pulling back, and they actually bounced pretty strong that day. I remember it was like, not doing well in the morning, and then it just bounced like crazy. So by the end of the day, it actually gained 1.9%. And then inside the small cap, the growth stocks actually did better than the value stocks. So that's also another good sign. iShares, so growth, IWF up 1.1% versus IWD value up 0.9%. But they both look pretty strong. They test their 21-day moving average. Yeah. So right now, this thing's still fluctuating. Like that day went up to as high as 75% for a cut in June. So we go check here. Let's see what it says now. So May, you can see no rate cut, obviously, 525. So June. Okay, so it dropped back a little bit to 66%. So it's still pretty high. Still lots of people believe there'll be a cut in June. So I think, like I said, by May, we'll know. But that's the thing, right? Like the Fed the market really rallied after that. Like we can go look at the chart right now. We go to let's go to QQQ 15-minute chart, and so here you go. So Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, right here. This is the around noon time. This is where it went. Like it really just went straight up. Like honestly, it didn't even try to, come back down. And then the next day, obviously, it gap up. And then it gave up some of the gains by the end of the day. But it's still overall up day. And then on Friday, it didn't close that bad. At least for Nasdaq. So look at IWM or Russell. That doesn't matter. They're both pretty similar. Very similar. So you can see the Russell jump a lot, right? Right here, you can see it jump a lot. So it didn't gap out on Thursday, which is interesting because Nasdaq did. So that's very interesting. And then here we actually have a pretty bad day yesterday. So that's also very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Obviously we're still up, but it's not a good close on Friday. We're still up compared to where Wednesday was in the morning. But yeah, this is So I'm very kind of mixed about this. I feel like the market, the small caps, in general, just still stuck in this zone, and I don't know what it takes for it to get out. Whether you actually have to wait till the rate cut happen, because it seems like, based on this action, it seems like the market doesn't believe, at least part of the market doesn't believe the June cut will happen. So that, with that being said, like I feel like there's a possibility, right? So as much as Powell say, we still on track and all that stuff, but if we get more inflation data coming out, this coming week, and then in April, like what's before the May conference again, like maybe they'll change the tune right by then. So I do think the next month, all the inflation data is going to be critical, and then we have to watch if the market, how the market reacts to it, depending which way it goes. So if inflation was going higher and the market react negatively, without any bounce, then I would kind of be more worried about that. Maybe the Fed not going to cut rate. And again, even the Fed not cutting rate, let's just say it's going to happen. Let's just say inflation is stubborn, sticky, and not going down at all. In fact, maybe you can go up 0.1% or something like that. The Fed might still cut rate, right? That's the possibility there. And maybe market is like, hey, it's okay, overall trend is still down. It's just a little blip here. I don't know, but at the end of the day, the Fed not cutting rates, is that so bad? I hear one analyst say, hey, maybe it's okay. Like, even if they don't cut rates, it's actually better. It means the economy is strong, right? And as long as inflation doesn't go like crazy like before and stay around 3% is okay. Even for like the next year or two is okay, right? So some people even say this is good for the market actually. So anyhow, take it whichever way you like. That's what could happen. So it's very hard to tell whether we actually had a pullback. We did. I think the market has tested the at least look at Nasdaq. It has tested the average 21-day many times here, like 5 times to be exact in the last 4 weeks. And even this one was the big one, right? That was the one in early February. And so early February, and now we almost in the 1 week left in March. So it has been over a month. Even though this doesn't look like much of a base, it actually tested the 21-day, like I said, 5 times here in the last month. And so with that being said, what happens to the leaders? A lot of them has built a very short base. And some of them are so strong that they only pull back like for 2 weeks, and that's what's it. And then make new high after. So that with that being said, that's something we want to pay attention to. So even though we didn't get the pullback that normally they call it the broad market pullback, and usually that's what people expect. Even though we didn't get that, but the market did actually do a lot of consolidation in the last month. For some stocks, right? Not all stocks, obviously, but like I said, there's some sort of consolidation, but now the market has came out, right? You can see right here, this range here has come out right here on Wednesday, and that was a big signal, right? The volume is higher than the previous day, and that's what IBD cares about. So overall, like I said, it's very hard for people to trade in this market. I feel like, even for me, I feel like, are we at the extreme here? And there's so many articles. Like this morning, I was just browsing on my Google phone, and just so many articles talking, the bears are saying, hey, this is deja vu. This is 2020 again, and 2021, and all this, people basically saying this is the peak, and also like so many bears right now. Basically telling you that this is the peak, but yet the market continue higher, right? So again, the way IBD teaches how to trade and how O'Neill learns to trade his style is basically interpret daily action. Don't try to forecast, predict, those kind of things. And right now, so as I mentioned, the index are acting well, right? They're making new highs, and we will see that in all indexes, not just one index. And not only that, we've seen, again, the stock leaders emerging again, right, out of their short-term consolidation. Like I said, some of them really short, like 2 weeks pullback. Some of them have built, a nice flat base. A lot of them built nice flat base. So that's, to me, those are good signs, and they're all coming out, right? They're all coming out of their base. So, and we want to see this momentum carry next week. At least that's what I hope. Because sometimes it does reverse, so just to test your patience. And so it did that kind of yesterday, right? It did pull back a little bit, especially on the small cap side. Again, let's jump to small cap just because that's a very different picture yesterday, right? Now overall the week is still good. You can see like Monday was down, like Tuesday we hit a new low. It tested the 50-day right here, and I was like, the week before I was saying watch for this test, right? And it did bounce right off. Like I was surprised even on Tuesday. Well, Tuesday I wasn't sure because it did bounce off it. And then Wednesday when the news came, that's when it really took off. So that was a good sign. and then Thursday it followed through, but Friday was again, it came back. Now it wants to test the 10-day again. So this, like I said, this is probably very volatile, like really volatile type of action here. And if we look at the weekly chart, again, we are, you know, still testing near the 2000 level, believe it or not. And I don't know whether maybe this is the last, this is it. I don't know. I keep saying that, but it just keep coming back, right? So, you know, really want to see this take off, right? Really want to see it take off, and we'll see if it happens again. I don't know. Now, we'll see later. I do notice a lot of financial stocks moving this week. I like, you know, that's actually probably, I don't know if I have more tech on financials, but I'm telling you, those are the two on my portfolio right now. But I've never had that much in financials. Let's put it that way. So that may be a sign, because a lot of financials are smaller caps. And yeah, so that's something to you know, watch out for. So yeah, let's look at S&P. S&P is just like a titan. It just keep going, like an Energizer bunny. And this chart is just, you know, really strong. Now we are a little bit, you know, on the upper channel line here, so something to pay attention to, because if it accelerate, it could be the end of it. Okay, usually when index does that, it usually is the end of the run. So, you know, so that's why, like, you know, it's good if we stay in this channel line, just keep going further, but not go too crazy. But this last week S&P was really strong. Yeah, it was up, you know. Yesterday it was down a little, but like every day it was up. So that's really strong. And Dow Jones, that's another, you know, that's another thing that surprised me this week, is how strong Dow is. This one is actually look like a nice base right here. Again, same thing. It came out on Wednesday, Friday pulls back, which is a little bit negative, because it pulls back, you know, back to the gap area. So that, you know, again, this is a strong test right now. But relative strength is pretty much similar to our S&P. So yeah, all right. But yeah, let's go back to the weekly chart. I just want to talk one more thing about Nasdaq. So yeah, we are on, you know, after 2 weeks pullback, we are on track again to bounce again. Again, this is the Nasdaq 50-day moving average or 10-week moving average. It's on the very steep, like a nice uptrend slope, right? It's like almost 45 degree. This is a very strong bull market. Like Jim Ropel, like he is making lots of money. Like, I mean, he got it right this whole year so far. And every time, the only time he even talk about this, he said every time he hedge, he loses some of his money back. So that's how strong the market is. Yeah. So, but you know, overall, he's still up big. He said, and you know, he's really excited. Like, this is a bull market that, like he said, this is like as strong as a bull market he has ever seen. So that tells you a lot. Again, no one know how long this will last, but so on the channel line here on Nasdaq, looks pretty good actually. So yeah, so it looks like we're in the middle area, so not too extended yet, right? So he talked about, you know, so he actually talked about, he gave a good lesson this week. He go back to, I don't remember now. I don't remember, it was 2020 or 21. I can't remember. There was a 3-day pullback that was so steep. It was, he said, right? Yeah, sorry, I forgot the date. Let's see if we can find it. Let's go to December. So this one, I don't. It was worse. It might be this right here. I don't know. Yeah, maybe September. Yes. No. September right here. No. Sorry. Keep screwing this up. No, this is a bigger pullback. Let me go to 21. I can't remember which year. I thought it was 2020. But it was a 3-day pullback that really The Nasdaq correct 14%. So I don't think it's 21. It has to be 2020. Anyhow, so he's talking about, like, you know, get ready for that, right? When that could happen, he said. You know, because it might be this one, but I keep thinking it was September. I don't know why. Yeah. So here it was down. Yeah. So 10,800 high, low 10,100. No, that's not 14%. I don't remember which one he's talking about. Anyhow, he was just talking about, maybe it's not even this year. Screw up. He was talking about a 3-day pullback that was 14% in a very strong bull market. And so he said, you know, just get ready for that. And it's hard, right? That's why he said, you know, as much as he doesn't like to put on hedges, but you have to, right? Like, you have to do something. Even if you know you're going to lose those hedges. Like, and he, like I said, he already did twice this year and lost both times. So, and you know, I did the same thing too, right? You know, so, but that's the thing, you know, you have to follow the market trend and just kind of, you know, when you think it's just too extended, then you know, yeah, try to hedge a little bit, right? Because that way you don't get that, you know, 10-14% drop in a few days and you get hurt really bad. So right now, like I said, we're not that far extended. So from the 10-day, it's yeah, no, how do you calculate this again? I can't even remember. Oh, from the 50-day, I think they calculate. Yeah, 4.2%. So it says here for SMA 50, 4.2%. So usually around 7-8% is when it get extended and it'll pull back. So on Nasdaq, at least it looks like, I say, in the middle range right now, so it still look okay. Yeah. So anyhow, I just want to mention that. This coming week is a 4-day week because Friday is a holiday, and but there is a lot of Fed speaking. Lisa Cook on Monday, Christopher Waller appear on Wednesday. Jerome Powell will be making a discussion at the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco on yeah. Was that Thursday or Friday? It's Friday here. I don't know. Yeah. So the personal consumption expenditure, I don't know. It's weird. It's coming out on Friday, but like I said, Friday is a holiday, right? I don't know. Is Friday a trading day or not a trading day? No, I don't think it is, right? So let me go to the economic calendar here. We have consumer confidence on Tuesday too, and GDP revised second revision. Oh, we also have consumer sentiment. There's two here. Oh, confidence and sentiment. And then Friday, yeah, PC is out. So yeah, as far as I know, Friday is not a trading day, but yet it's coming out on Friday. So so market won't react until Monday. Basically, what it says here. Yeah. So new home sales Tuesday, durable goods, pending home sales out on Thursday. So those are the economic news. Connor will be reporting, Brace will be reporting, Jeffrey will be reporting. Okay, let's look at the mid cap. Let's see how that's doing. The mid cap also came out, so you can see the mid cap also pulled back recently after this nice run here, and it, you know, again, this is exactly what you want to see in the chart. Consolidation, and then it only took like a couple days to take it out, right? So that's a very nice, powerful move. So Friday did give back just like the Russell did. Let's look at the IBD 50 index. So we came out of this cup with handle pattern. It rises pretty strong. Very similar to Russell, very choppy. And then here we had this consolidation right here, right? You see, very choppy. And then same thing, took 2 days to come back out. And so this looks really good. In fact, Friday, look at where it closed. It's like almost near the middle. So this one acting really strong. The growth stocks on IBD 50. All right. Let's look at the breadth here. RSP. So looking good. It breaks out right here on the S&P equal weight. The Nasdaq equal weight. This one looks slightly weaker. It came back down closer to the 10-day. Yeah, I think the tech stocks could do better. It hasn't. Like I said, it's still, for me, I find it still very narrow breadth. Yeah, so that's the problem. Let me go. So the S&P advanced decline line right here. It did. You see how it rise to a new high, very strong move. It did give back on Friday. For Nasdaq, like Nasdaq was like, really not moving much, and then it did move some little bit, but again, it gave back quite a bit on Friday as well. So it's actually this drop. It was C before, now it's D. So so like I said, the breadth on the Nasdaq is not strong at all, which is not good. Like yeah. So the yield, funny enough, it started dropping on Tuesday, even before Wednesday, which is very interesting. And then Thursday, Friday continue to drop. So like last week we talked about like be careful of this like peak here. So it did find resistance. That's great. And again, maybe some people anticipate the Fed not going to make any change. So it's good for the 10-year yield. Yeah. So let's look at oil. So oil has a kind of pullback this week. Overall, it's still acting pretty good. Like the volume is lower. It's very tight. It's looks like it's finding support at 10-day. It looks like it just doesn't want to go below the 10-day. So hopefully, next week it will start its run again. And then UUP. So the dollar did rise after Wednesday, which is very interesting because it kind of closed at the low on Wednesday, but then it bounced back. Like this is weird actually. So it actually broke the new high. Yeah, like again, I don't know, like even though oil didn't make a new high, 10-year yield didn't make a new high, but US dollar is starting to move, which is very weird. Like Wednesday was almost like a fake out day. Like it's a trap day. Like for people thinking the dollar will go back down, it actually trap you. And then Thursday, Friday make this big move. So I don't know what this means, because because US dollar is getting stronger again. So let's look at gold. The gold seems to be you can see the relative strength getting really weak. With that being said, the prices are still holding above the 10-day, but it is relatively getting weaker. So again, this is also very interesting. Yeah, so I don't know if gold, because I think a lot of people are still very bullish on gold. So I don't know if this will break down. It looks like it wants to break down, but it hasn't. But if it does break down, it's going to break down pretty fast, I think. So watch out for that. But if it doesn't break down, then yeah, hopefully it'll go back up. But it's just really weird that this week is like all over the map. So overall this week, I think Mondays, Tuesdays were kind of weak. Again, waiting for the Fed Powell announcement, and then Wednesday we really see a jump again on the buying side, accumulation, and you can see it did fall through Thursday, Friday, and then on the sector side, like pretty much all sectors were green, and retail is really surprisingly strong. I'm very surprised by this. Like, I have the most watch list on retail right now. Industrial, yes. Like, the leaders just keep running. We'll look at some of the charts. It just drives me nuts because I definitely sold some of them too early. Health is a little bit weaker. And then commodities, energy are still doing fine. Financial is ramping up. You can see here. In fact, Friday, you can see the financials just continue on. and took the lead. Technology kind of, again, a little bit underwhelming as the week goes on, and it kind of, went back to negative here. So, so that's what tells me. Industrial also came back down a lot. I don't know what happened on Friday. Same thing with retails, but financial seems to be the strongest right now. Jim Ropel did mention that he has never seen a bull market where financials doesn't act well. So if this is any sign, if financials do act well, that's a good sign for the bull market. The second thing I would also want to say is like a lot of them are small caps in the financials. So if this continues to do well, I won't be surprised Russell will finally, break out and start going higher in a really good momentum. The other thing that Tom Lee also mentioned, like he's been on CNBC almost every day this week, crazy. And you know what he say? He keeps saying the same thing. He's seeing 50% rise in small caps by the end of the year. He's so convicted about this, and that again, if that happens, like I say, I want to be there, and if the financials are the one that can lead, at least stay in the top, near the top, then I want to be there because those guys can move fast, especially the small caps. So let's see if that happens. Well, yeah, you can see the KRE hasn't done much, right? It's still on this downtrend. So it's almost like the Russell, like just having a hard time coming out. I believe the big cap is KBE, right? And here, this one, very similar tone, right? It's just consolidating still. Hasn't really come out of the trend line yet. But it's looking a lot better, right, this week. But again, every time it seems to look better, it pulls back. So we'll see. But like I say, if these guys start to come out, man, then I think Russell is gonna lead. And there's lots of record-breaking stuff right now. Like they're saying, like okay. Before I even talk about that, like I went back and studied all the bull market, how it started. And almost every, like the last, since 2000, the ones that I studied, like 2003, 2009, even 2020, like the Russell has never not, like, performed almost similar to the Nasdaq. So this is very weird. Like the fact that Nasdaq has gone up so much versus the Russell is very weird for this bull market. So that's something that I find very interesting. The other couple of facts was one is how the 10-year and 2-year yield inversion curve is now over 2 years now. It's the longest in history, they said. And yet we haven't seen a recession, right? So that also a record-breaking fact. There's another one, I can't remember. So it's just really weird environment right now. And as I mentioned earlier, like I said, you can go online anywhere and you will see so many bearish articles saying all the bears are coming out, like speaking louder than ever that, oh man, we are near the peak, right? So just be careful because that will keep a lot of people out of the market because of those bearish articles, but yet the market continue higher, right? Again, interpret the daily action and look at your leading stocks. Those are your best indicators. And when it turns, it will turn. Just like Jim Roper said, when the 14% correction is going to come in a few days, it's going to happen. But this moment doesn't look like it's going to happen, right? Because the stocks are starting to emerge again. So, and we'll look at some charts very shortly here to see that whether that's happening. And that's how I'm going to base my decision on. If I see those stocks start to reverse, then I know something is not right, right? Okay. So yeah, let's jump to so in terms of financials, we'll look at the stocks on my watch list. Again, a lot of them are insurance and financial investment management. Those two areas dominate right now. I don't know the industry why those two specific subgroup are doing so well, but they're just on fire. Like Like, yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. The regional banks hasn't really caught on fire yet. And then the foreign banks is another group that's starting to catch on fire. They're really moving. So whether they'll spread to more domestic banks, like, you know, in the U.S., I don't know. You know, but I think that if that group starts to move, yeah, then definitely it'll break out, and it could. I think it could. There's a high chance now. Okay, so let's start with the technology ETF. So SMH. So we have this nice, you know, really strong run since the beginning of the year, and you know, there's no doubt Nvidia, AMD, ARM, you know, those big three guys are doing really well. And then we have this pullback, right? And that started, you know, that Friday, probably 3 weeks now, almost 3 weeks now. Yeah, 3 weeks now. You know, it happened, and then we had this, you know, bounce here on Thursday, gap up bounce, really strong. I don't remember if we had news on that day. Besides, because I know we had the Nvidia conference earlier in the week, but I don't know if we had any specific news that day. Anyhow, the chips start to move. So now, you know, this is a very short consolidation, like, you know, 2.5 weeks, right? And the trend line is just incredible. Like, this is like 45 degree, easily 45 degree angle. And now it's, you know, look at Friday where it closed. It actually closed higher. So very strong. And we can look at Nvidia. Very similar chart. You can see there's this short consolidation, and you can see Friday where it closed. Like Friday was a giant move. It was up as 3%. All-time high, actually, closing high. Yeah, very strong chart action. Go to the weekly chart. Yeah, this is like how, like, you know, 11 weeks, right? 11 weeks up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 11 weeks up now. Crazy. So look at this RS rating. Look at it. I don't remember ever seeing the RS rating that looked like that, just straight up. At that strong angle without any pullback whatsoever. Yeah, it's just outperforming the market pretty constantly, and like I said, this is probably like this was a, you know, 3-4 day pullback, and then this is like almost 8 to 10 day, like I don't know how many days, 8 or 9 days pullback, and then now it's coming out again. So generally, again, I don't know this is gonna happen for every stock, but for the stronger stocks, they tend to pull back like their 10-21 day support line. So this is the first time here. This is the second time. Generally, the first two pullbacks, based on, you know, if you read the IBD book, O'Neill says it's usually okay to buy, right, to add on or whatever. Once it gets to the third or fourth pullback, it gets really obvious, and that's when it usually fails. So right now we are on the second pullback, on this breakout, right? So from here, so this is, you know, still viable action based on that idea there. All right, so that's Nvidia. Let's look at the software side. You can see this is the weekly chart here. So now we have formed a flat base. But as you can see, the chip sector is still stronger, looks stronger, right? This one, you know, is second tier to that, but you know, Friday it kind of came back a little bit. It's not bad. It kind of come out of the short-term downtrend, the downtrend line, but now it's kind of just staying right at the trend line again. The RS rating is not as strong as I hope. You can see the previous peak was right here, and that's the peak right there. But look at this peak right here and where it is. It's like near down at the bottom, right? So the RS line is a lot weaker than I would want it to. So that really just again just show like how I think a lot of the software stocks are just not acting as well as they should, and that's the problem. I think that's still the biggest problem. So, but the chip are again looks like the leadership continues. So that's one big difference. Let's look at Microsoft, and like I believe the two titan for AI is Microsoft and Nvidia. Now Microsoft chart looks a lot better, right, than IGV. Look at this. Nice breakout on Thursday. This is the second time now breakout. The first time it fell. Well, not fell. It just kind of pulled back to the buy point. But this time it looks real. Look at Friday where it closed. It closed at the top. So even though it tried to pull back, it didn't want to, and it just closed at the top. Again, the RS trading is not as strong as I like to see. You can see again. Here's the peak here, first peak. The second peak, even though it was a higher high, it didn't make a new high on the RS rating. So again, it just shows again, this stock is not performing even as strong as the S&P, which is very interesting. Yeah, but I mean it is climbing. It's just not, like I said, it's not as strong as it was. So I don't know, but right now the uptrend has started. So if it does continue at this, that's a 45-degree angle. So we'll see. Okay, next one, Amazon. Amazon, it's not a fast mover, but it's very consistent, right? It just moves up, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways. It doesn't pull back much. You have to have lots of patience in this, but it does move overall. Like you can see, the trend line. It's just not super fast, but it is doing its thing. Like the RS line also not moving fast. It's just doing its thing slowly. So that's Amazon. Meta. I haven't heard much on the news about Meta lately. So it's acting pretty well, I would say. Again, it did pull back here. That's the first pullback since it break. Well, it has this one here at the beginning, but since this gap up, it hasn't really pulled back much. So this is the first time to 21 day right here. So now it looks like it's coming out again. It looks like it wants to come out again. So yeah, so this is looking good again. I like this chart more than the Amazon chart. So all right, now one surprise that I find this week was Google, and so it broke this trend line. It built this deep base, which is 15% deep. Not super deep, but more than others. And it climbed back so fast. I couldn't believe it. This V shape is really V. Like, look at this bottom right here, this V right here. It's amazing. Yeah. And I was like, okay, right here was like, okay, it came out. I was like, okay, I'll wait a little bit more. And then boom, it capped up right here. And then I was like, oh my god, it gapped up, and then it did pull back. Yeah, I had to take a position on Friday. I just couldn't wait any longer. It just looked too strong. Like it just looks like the V shape is just so strong. So that's Google. And this, like I said, this is a nice base. The Google hasn't really done so well, just put it that way. It's been really choppy. Look at how many times now. So there's a base here, there's a base here, there's a base here. It's not like Meta, right? Like it's not like Microsoft, right? Like if you look at Meta chart, look at this. It's like so much but nicer, right? So I don't know, but let's see. Maybe this time, like the fact that I built a V shape was what really interests me this time, because I don't see this often, so I don't know. We'll see. Like definitely someone's buying, man, because that's how it formed that channel line here. Okay, so that's that. Yeah. So let's look at Apple. So Apple got hit really hard with the suit from the government, right? And for antitrust stuff. I'm surprised they're doing it now. Like all these years, what were they doing? I don't know. It's so weird that it's happening right now. Anyhow, this stock chart, like I said many times, look at this low right here and this low. If we cut those lows, man, I don't know how far it will go. This is not looking good. We'll see if it happens this time. But this is not looking good at all. This chart is starting to look scary. The 50-day is already coming down. So whether this will accelerate, we'll see. Tesla, yeah, so just so many bad news for Tesla, right? Like plant issues, slowing down production in China, like just so many bad news. Like this slope is pretty bad, man. This 50-day average slope. Again, this like this 152 mark is also critical for Tesla. Because once you break that, it could accelerate in going down. So that's the scary part about this chart too. So, yeah, gotta watch out for that. I mean, this is getting back to like the lows here. That's crazy. Yeah. So, the whole industry, the whole EV industry, like I was like, if you look at like even in China, like Li is getting punished. Look at this, right? They announced like much lower guidance. Yeah, they got punished big time. I haven't checked BYD. I don't usually check that stock, but let's just check BYDDF. Wow, this one is actually doing okay. Yeah, this one's in the OTC. I don't trade OTC, so I couldn't trade this. But yeah, this one is looking okay. I'm surprised. They announced something. I can't remember what did they announce. It was something innovative. I don't remember now. Yeah. So, but this one is on the uptrend. Very interesting. It has a big resistance right here. Very interesting too. Anyhow, but yeah, the whole EV industry just like gone to crap. I don't know what's happening. Like the sales are going down. Just not doing well. So that's that. That's the big cap 7. Some of the articles from IBD this week, Nvidia talks about how competitive pricing will drive Nvidia's AI strategy. Crowd, the buzzword now is platform. So let's look at crowd here for a second. Again, we have this very choppy action here. And then here it consolidate even more. Hasn't really done much yet. At least it's flattened, like meaning like not going sideways. But it hasn't really come out in terms of like powerful move. You can see the RS line is also kind of just waiting, like not doing much. So so this consolidation looks very interesting. It's about 6 weeks now, kind of just going sideways, not doing much. But yeah, if it does come out, it'll be very interesting. Hasn't quite yet. This one, P-Core, is a tech player in the construction billion-dollar software business, and it's not easy to trade this stock. It's very choppy as well, but now it's starting to look more decent. Like this angle is pretty strong. If you look at this daily chart, again, it doesn't look very smooth, so it's definitely more volatile. But again, the RS rating is starting to move up, and then this week it came out, so we'll see. But like I said, this one is very choppy though. It always come back to 21-day. But this time is the first time it didn't even undercut that, which is very interesting. So so at least if it goes well, then this may be the slope. But yeah, but this guy has definitely more volatility, and I don't see many people talk about this one, Procore. So it could be a surprise, who knows. IoT, AI player, how is nearby point? I always, when I hear this name, it's become more of a joke now on IB Live because everyone just stay away from it because every time it comes out, it fails. So here you go, it comes out and then it fell, right? So people are, you know, like how many times it tried to come out. Here's another one. That was the old one. Again, this Thursday it tries to make a move, but again, you can see it just didn't close at the top. It closed more near, a little bit in the middle range. So, but Friday I feel like it's surprising. It actually closed at the top, but again, it's just no, there's still lots of selling, right? That's why I keep coming back. So, but just like one of the IBD Live guys said, once it works, it's gonna work, and by that time, everyone gave up. So, who knows? All right, Hubs, AI firm teams with the big boys. Okay, so this name has been consolidating. Flat base right now. Again, very similar. You can see I draw a trend line here, waiting for it to come out. The RS strength is not that strong. It's kind of sloping downward. Yeah, but on the weekly chart, it looks better. Like very tight, flat base. So when it comes out, it might be good. The last time it came out, it didn't make much of a move. Like it went up, but not like a lot. So yeah, I don't know. The number seems okay. It has definitely slowing, like not as growing as fast, but the the earnings line is still going. Yeah, that's HubSpot. ANET, yeah, this is a name that hasn't been mentioned lately. And now you can see on the weekly chart a nice flat base has formed, and it broke out this week. RS line near new high, very awesome. Volume came in. Actually, it came in the last 2 weeks right here. So looks really sharp. Earnings look decent. It is slowing though. So I don't know what that means. We'll see. But yeah, this is a nice breakout. You can see right here. RS line just keep making new highs. Very nice base. Very nice. So yeah. Last time it didn't, like I said, it didn't move as fast as I hoped it would. And it has a lot of pullbacks. So we'll see what happens this time. Okay. Another article mentioned the cruise line, Royal Caribbean. Yeah, a lot of people started to talk about this stock. Yeah, it did break out on Wednesday. So I'm watching this very closely, and I'm trying to get into this stock because I do believe it might work. It has worked before, so that's the good thing. So, and look at this bottom channel line. Someone's buying. You can see how consistent the lows are on the channel line. So that looks pretty good. Like I said, it just broke out, and yeah, pay attention to that. FDX earnings spot rising optimism. Yeah, so it could be good news for the economy. I don't know. We'll see. But market really likes the data. Broke out. Yeah, it's a little bit far for me for the 10-day. We'll see if it consolidate here or whether it just keep going up. I don't know. But yeah, this is some good news for the economy because shipping is always a strong indication of the economy. And look at the transport group here. Let's see. I always forget the transport group. But yeah, okay, we can look at this subgroup here. Let's see. What's the subgroup here? Sector. Oh, this is for freight only. But all right, here, this button. yeah, so the overall group is looking pretty good. Right, broke the trend line right here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So the transportation group is starting to move. So here's the trend line. Yeah, of course there's a lot of this for FDX, but let's look at UPS. I think UPS, yeah, see, UPS is also starting to come out. Has a little bit of reversal on Friday, but at least it did come out. We'll see. So looking good. So the retail index here, again, it came out like after this pullback consolidation here, looking pretty strong. Yeah, the trend line is, you know, still pretty steep. So it looks good. So retails, you see this long base, so long. So this is like,
wow,
similar to Russell, right? But this one actually now keep making new highs. So that's why I said, like, I was surprised how many retail stocks on my watch list this week. I was like, wow. And so a lot of stocks are starting to move to the buy zone, and so I'm surprised. Right? So yeah, so I would pay attention to the retail. It did, like I said, it did pull back on Tuesday, but I mean yesterday, Friday. But overall, it's looking very sharp. It's on the weekly chart. It looks like it's starting to go a lot higher. So yeah. If you look at the subgroup, like the consumer staples, look at this nice uptrend here. Look at discretionary. This one tried to come out on Thursday, it couldn't. So there's a little bit of, you know, pullback here, back to the 10-day. We'll see. We'll see if it can move. We'll see. But overall, looks good. Retail. Industrial. Look at this, man. It just, like, every time I think it's a top, it doesn't top. It just keep hugging the upper channel line. It's just crazy. And that's the same thing with some of the leaders. It just keep making new high. So yeah, industrials are really strong. Yeah, health not so well. Health's probably the weakest right now. Like, you know, it pulled back, tried to come back up, it fell. See, now it's doing like almost like it's more at the bottom of the range, so it doesn't look very healthy. And then if you look at energy, energy is strong. Look at this. I don't own many energy stocks, but every time the IBD Life guy pull up an energy stock, they're just going straight up, man, like this. This is how strong the curve is. This is like a 60-degree angle. I think one stock dimension was VLO. Man, look at this one. Crazy. Like, look at that slope. So yeah, lots of energy stocks are moving so strong. The only problem for me is a lot of them have negative earnings, so that's why I don't usually put on my watch list. So that's energy, and then like I said, SLF, financial. This one is making new high. Look at this. Like, it's actually above the channel line, like on Thursday. But yeah, so Friday pulled back pretty strong. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this is not the top, but the channel line is still intact. It's just a little bit extended, so it pulled back. Yeah. All right. So the blues here are the Friday, and you can see the relative strength are hitting new highs on some of this. So coin, I think coin pulled back right this week. So yeah, I tried to make a new high, but it kind of pulled back on that after that. It still looks okay, right? It's still above the 10-day. Let's just look at GBTC. Oh, this one is going down now, eh? Interesting. So yeah, so Bitcoin has come back down. The trend line is pretty steep on that downtrend, so I would pay attention to that. Same thing as this. So I don't know about coin, man. I don't think coin will move if this group is whole going down, right? They usually act the same. This one's on a steep curve too. Yeah, I heard like even CLSK I think has gone back down. Oh, this guy actually jumped here. Interesting. Was there any news, you know? But it's going.
No news.
Yeah, it's holding pretty strong. Like very choppy, but at least it's holding strong here. Very interesting. So that another thing I'm observing now, and again I don't know, like I see some small cap stock starting to come on my list, like things that are under billion, right, market cap. So CDLX is one of them. So I don't know what does this mean. Like I don't know how big this is. Let's see. Yeah, 700 million, really small cap, right? So earnings, look at this earnings, looking really strong going forward. Hasn't done much, but you can see this earnings line is like going up now, really strong. Hasn't really, like it moves, but it not really. It kind of fall back pretty hard. So that's the problem with small caps, they're very volatile. But right now it's on a tear right now. And CDLX, I never heard of this stock before. So broke out from this trend line on earnings right here. And after the earnings, what did it do? It basically just keep rising. So this is telling me, again, someone is acquiring this this stock right now. And very strong slope line. You know, $19, 19 to 20 is where it was previously. So it looks like it wants to go there. So yeah, I took some positions on this. We'll see. And like I say, I don't know if it's gonna work. But we're seeing small cap. This is a small cap. So we saw Nvidia, Palantir. Those guys are kind of going sideways right now. App, Hames, Crowd, we talked already. Frog, so going sideways. Meta, we already talked about. Spot, okay, Spotify. So this guy, this is like one of the strongest stocks, right? You have this strong run like Nvidia, and then it has this 2.5 week pullback to the 10-week line. So, yeah, I mean the last time I did this was right here. And then it goes up like 6-7 weeks in a row. So right now it's bouncing again. Now the volume didn't show up this time, so I don't know what that means. But it is starting to move again, so we'll see. But that's Spotify. ANET, we already talked about. CyberR. Micron, yeah, Micron did really well on the earnings. It's it's on the tear as well. It just keep going. Like even Friday, it didn't want to give back at all. So it really extended for me to get in at this point. But I'm just monitoring this stock. Yeah, looking good. Appfolio, CRM, Shopify. Now let's look at now. Some of these stocks, they're like, you know, like Salesforce, and now they're not correcting no more, right? So that's good sign. So you can see they all form this nice base now. The question is, are they ready to come out? Is the question, or are they just gonna keep chopping here? I don't know. We'll see. CRM is another one. So this one is starting to move a little bit. Okay, DY. Yeah, let's talk about this because this one keep coming back on my screen as well. Dicom. So it makes this really strong move last time, very quick, and then it went sideways. I was impressed by this. Like, look at how tight this is trading. And then on Friday it come out, but it did close at the bottom of the range. So we'll see. But overall, it looks really healthy. And let's see if it comes out again, you know, where they will start the run again. This is like, looks like it formed a 3-week like tight here. So that's a good sign. 3-week tight usually means the institutions don't want to let the price go down by the end of the week because they're trying to accumulate. So that's why they're so tight. So that's a good sign. So that's DY, like I said. This stock does move well when it moves. Duolingo, oh man. I got shaken out of this barely. So yeah, so on Friday I got shaken out. We'll see. I'm just gonna wait for this traditional breakout point. But it's looking good. Like the lows are higher, right? So let's see. But I got shaken out because I put too tight of a stop loss. Nice. This name has been on my radar all the time. IBD doesn't talk about this that much. Israel company. But look at this move right here. It's starting to break out on really nice slope. Volume is there. Look at the volume. Yeah, this is Israel company. The earnings looks pretty decent. Like these numbers are messed up. I already talked to IBD about it. They say they're gonna try to fix it, but the actual value are messed up. But I think the percent might be correct. So, anyhow, SMPS, yeah. So this is mentioned on the NVIDIA conference quite a bit actually. Like, they're a big partner of NVIDIA. Yeah, because they help them design like the warehouse and stuff, right? I think, and this one built pull back pretty strong, and now it's coming out. It looks like it wants to come out, and the volume was there to support those. So that's good. Another one which is kind of should be back on my radar screen, I think, CDNS. So this one also, pull back. Now it's coming out. Look at this. This one even make new high already. So yeah, so this one looks even better than SMPS. Yeah. So that's that one. Workday is going sideways. That's it for the tech stocks. So ANF, everyone knows this is like one of the really good stock. Again, you can see this chart has been riding this 50-day, but like this is like staying right here. Is that it just didn't want to come back to 50-day, and finally it did. And then what do you do after? Make new high. So, yeah, I have re-entered this stock. So here it was like, you can see I draw this channel line here, right? And it broke it, and it kind of did a little strong few-day move here, and then it pulled back, and now, it found support at 50-day, and now again, this is a V-shaped rebound, really strong, like accumulation, some accumulation, and we'll see if this time will come up again. I don't know. The problem with short consolidation is always risky, right? Because it hasn't given enough time to test from a time perspective. It has tests from a price perspective. So from here to here, right? 140. It's a pretty steep drop actually. Like 140. I can't tell. It's 140 to 114. That's over a 20% drop. So it is a steep drop from that perspective. So sometimes the price drop is enough. So yeah. So we'll see. The retail, like I said, there's lots of retail here. Like GPS is another retail apparel. This guy, like, oh man, I think I talked about it last week. I didn't trust it. I didn't trust the breakout at that time because I was like kind of more bearish a little bit on the market pullback, and so I didn't buy into it. And look at this stock; it just went crazy. Just straight up. This is like the steepest slope you could have probably. It's crazy. So yeah, I missed that one. Let's see what other ones there is. Yeah, I think this is wrong. This should be restaurant. This should be restaurant. Somehow screw up that one. Yeah, there's RL, rough rolling. This one pull back, like this is a strong run right here, and then pull back, and now it looks like it wants to come out again. PVH, it's very similar. So we'll see. Like a lot of them doing this V-shaped thing. So we'll see. So those are the other two. Let me see if there's another. Those are the 4 here on that list. Celsius. Okay, let's take a quick look at this chart. So it went up pretty strong, and then now it pulled back, and now it looks like it's holding tight. It looks like it's trying to rebound now. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I would say this chart looks pretty good. The only problem is the volume is not there to support it. That's the only problem. You get MMYT making new high. This stock just like Energizer Bunny, man. It's just I feel like I'm missing out on this stock big time. Look, it's starting to curve up too right now. So it looks like it's trying to curve up. Elway was reporting this week, did really well. Again, I hesitate. This was a nice breakout point. Yeah, I hesitate, and then by Thursday it already jumped so much. I was like, oh my god, it's just moving so fast. And that's what happens when they're really small cap. They can move fast. This is a small cap stock. EDU not doing so well. Kawa, okay, let's look at Kawa. Kawa is just another Energizer Bunny. I feel like this is possible the retail stock of the year, man. I feel like it can be. Like it's just so strong. It's just the slope line is just so strong. This is the first pullback after the initial breakout from here. This is the actual traditional point. You look at the weekly chart, it looks even better. Look at this. Right, this is an IPO. Yeah, this is so strong. Like this 50-day is at 60-degree angle. I'm just amazed how fast this stock is moving. The earnings are just starting to look so good, right? Everyone talks how good this restaurant is. Everybody in the USA, like crazy good. So yeah, trying to get into bigger position in this one. That's what I'm trying to do. Dash, Uber is again pull back, and now this is a nice pullback. Found support exactly at the 50-day. The last time it did that, right here. So this one has run quite a bit too, but this time it actually built more of a base this time. So it has consolidated for weeks now. So now waiting for it to come out again. Very interesting. Very interesting. Everyone's saying how Uber like could become a giant because of Tesla's driver, right? Now, obviously that's not good for jobs, but if they ever start using Tesla's driver, it could boost their profit margin big time. That's what they keep saying. So, and they're saying, it's getting closer and closer or something. I don't know. Wing retail restaurant, right? Yeah, so this is the other story, like similar to Kawa. Went up really steep here and pull back, and now look at it. It's trying to come out again. So there's some volume here, so that's good. So we'll see. Okay, yeah, AU is another retail apparel store. I think I mixed up the industry group. There you go. So yeah, so this one, this one not moving as fast, but looks okay. Right now it looks good. Yeah. So that's that one. Shack, another restaurant. So some of the, like we talk about RCL, Royal Caribbean, but some of the, like Trip is starting to move as well. But this one is a long base. Like I couldn't believe how long this base is. Like, this is a long base right here. So look at how tight this is trading right now. Really strong chart action right now. Really tight action, you know. Yeah, looks good. I like it. Trip. Toyota and Honda, right? Japanese stocks are crazy, going nuts right now. So, yeah, I'm hammering those guys because the Japanese stocks are just doing so well, and this pullback give me a chance to now, you know, take more get into it more. HMC is the other one. I was surprised actually. I thought Honda chart wasn't gonna look as better than Toyota, but it does. Look at this. Nice breakout, nice pullback, cup with handle pattern. Look at this giant volume at the bottom. Look at this volume, the highest volume ever. Like, look at that. So this is perfect cup with handle pattern. Earnings look, you know, 68 cents. 60, again, I don't know if this is correct, but here it says 38%. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, the Toyota stocks are just on the run. Yeah. So okay, so Netflix, BR, all these guys are on my list. Hyatt, Race is not. It's gonna got a new low on Thursday. PC, Borough, Cassie. This is retail super mini market. This one also starting to move, I think. Yeah, there you go. Looks pretty good on the weekly chart. Yeah, looks good. The daily chart. Yeah, so it has this pullback. Now it came out, and that's what we like to see. Right? You know, the V-shaped pattern traditionally has been more always a pattern that is not the best, but if it does work, then this one so far has worked. So that's the only risk, right? So sometimes V-shape, you might want to wait till it break out rather than, because normally you want to see a more round bottom. That's when you know there's more support at the bottom. But this one, you know, if it does come out and it does work, then that might be your buy point. So, ECL, Disney, you know, surprised me a lot. The chart looks like it's ready for a big move or something. Like you know, it's trying to come out, and then now look at it, right? So if we go back to the weekly chart again, this is a long consolidation, really long. And it finally has a clean breakout this week. It's a breakout week. So yeah, I don't have any shares on this, but I feel like I should get into this. Trip TCOM, another travel site, doing well. Yeah, this one, you know, breakout, but then pulls back to 10-week, and now it's starting to move again. And then Ollie is just reported this week, and they're a discount retailer, and you know, it pulled back pretty hard before the earnings, and now it's starting to go back. We'll see. It hasn't done that well so far, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right. Then there's booking also. Industrial, man. These guys are like the Energizer Bunny. VRT. Continue its strength. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, every pullback was a buying opportunity, right? Pullback. Yeah. Now this one's getting long in the tooth for sure. Like, look at, because the original buy point was right here. So this is getting. I mean, it's getting pretty obvious now. So EME is another one. Yeah, this is also going nuts. Like, it just so much buying on this stock. Like, this is the pullback, like 10-day. Look at how much support you get at 10-day. Like the whole time. Like, look at this 10-day, never even touches it, like pretty close to it, never touches it. So that's, yeah, it just keep going. I mean, mod and fix are, I think they both pull back. Yeah, there's this pullback, and then again, this is a V-shaped rebound, and it works. So now the new high, fix. This one is trying to come out right now. Like, this is a strong run right here, strong. This one, I don't know if I trade this one before. CAMT. It's in the electrical scientific measurement. Yeah. It's starting to move. Come out of this nice base here. Looks pretty good. Volume is okay. Not super high, but it's okay. Yeah, like this one has a nice run right here. So we'll see. Earnings are looking okay. There's GE, Aris, NRG. So utility, like I don't see many utility, but this one utility, I don't know. I haven't checked other utility stocks, but this is the only one I see that's on IBD screens, and the numbers looks pretty solid. But this is on a tear. Like, this is the Figley chart. Like, I miss this guy. Yeah, I miss it. It's just really strong, really strong. Tracks, ETN, Roll, MET, HWM, Aerospace. I mean, let's look at that one. This name always come back on my screen. So yeah, it has this pullback. This bounce is a little bit suspicious because it's kind of going really slow. So I'm not sure what to make of it. But yeah, but it is bouncing back. Yeah, this building wood product looks good. LPX. Yeah, this slope is pretty nice. Broke up from this cup with handle, so now it's looking 45-degree angle. GVA, BR. The only stock that actually hit a new low relative strength, which is kind of weird, is Berkshire. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, it doesn't look bad, the chart. It's just giving back a little bit. It still look okay, and it's forming a nice, like, this is a nice round cup here, right? Like, you know. So we'll see. It might be just a test your patience kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, okay. It also formed a tight pattern here, so that's good. Yeah. CWCO, FLS, EPAC, Health. Like I say, Health is not doing well. This is the only one that hit relative strength high. RDNT. Yeah. So this one move up after the earnings, and then it looks like it's getting good support here. Go to daily chart, it did the pullback, and now it's trying to move back up again. So we saw a lot of patterns that look like this, lots of patterns. Yeah, if you look at Lily, they're not doing much. They're going sideways mostly. And MO, same. This one is going down further. I should probably draw a alert point for the downtrend just in case they do come back up, because these guys are not going to go away. They're, you know, the obesity drug is just so good, right? So yeah, like this one, even this one is holding a lot better. Lily, I'm really surprised. Lily seems to have done a lot better in the last few months than Novartis. Yeah, ever since the news publication, third party that did the study says Lilly obesity drug is better than Novartis. So so that since that day it has been trading better. All right, move on to the energy side. FTI new high. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at this. Nice slope, really nice slope. Yeah, this looks getting really good. I like this stock. Look at the range where it's closed. All at the top. All at the top. Lots of accumulation on this guy. Weatherford, TDW. I mean, we can look at TDW. Again, you have to understand, this was a week where energy gave back a little bit, but what did TDW do? Making new high. Look at that, right? Weatherford, energy pulling back. What did Weatherford do? Making close to new high, right? So, I mean, these guys are, you know, are so strong. It's amazing. CLF, yeah, CLF is a oil service or something. Oh no, steel producer. Right, Cleveland Steel. Okay. A little bit choppy, right? But it's trying to come out. You can see it's trying to come out. The steel, something's happening with the steel. WS was another name that was showing up on my screen. Yeah, see, this guy broke out on earnings. It did reverse though, so but still, it still looks good. This is an IPO. Interesting. Anyhow, I haven't put it on my list yet, but yeah, let's look at copper. Copper came back down, so that's, you know, the pullback is quite strong. Lots of selling too. So we'll see if it it did undercut the 10 days. So I don't know. Yeah, this is getting a little bit scary here because it's pulling back really fast. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. All right, financials. I find the financials are exciting. I don't know. I don't know why. I just do. Look at banks foreign, right? Look at banks foreign. BMA. Look at this guy. This is some of them are like I said, foreign bank, right? So this one is Argentina. Man, this is starting to curve up, which is a little bit of a climax run. So it might be too late to get into this. NU Holdings. This is Brazil. This is still looking pretty sharp. What other ones? BLX. These are all the banks. This one, Panama. This one, look at how tight this is trading. Like, this is super tight. Even on the days with higher volume, it didn't move much, which is very interesting. So, looking really good. Okay, so that's the foreign banks. Pay is the credit card. Pay. This one is, I think, it's pretty extended now. So it has this extension, and then pullback. Looks like it's doing a V-shaped bounce right now. The pullback, even the recent, this 2-day here, look at the volume drying up. Looks really good. This is looking, yeah. It's a, you know, small cap. So, yeah, a lot of financials are small cap. HCI, this is insurance, lots of insurance. HCI, yeah. Slope of this really strong. Breaking out on Friday on a short, really short consolidation. Yeah, HCI, and then we have KNSL. Again, so this one doesn't look as strong, but you know, it's again, it's doing this, you know, round bottom and trying to come back up. MCY. All these are insurance guys. Again, same, very similar chart. Strong run, pull back. Now it's starting to come back up. I don't know if it will work. We'll see. PGR. This one is very strong uptrend. I think this would be the base here. So a little bit extended now. Quite a bit actually. Let's see. Insurance. Allstate. Lots of insurance. Oh, we're gonna talk about Square. Square is at the moment. So this one also, this one looks like nicer cup base, starting to move. SQ Square payment processor. Yeah, it hasn't moved much. Like it keeps falling back, right, to the buy point, which is very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so that's that. Then we have more insurance, CRBG. This one a little bit extended from the 10-day, but it's looking strong. Looking strong. FCNCA. This is a bank, regional bank. So this one looks like it's trying to come out right now on this really nice tight action. So we'll see. Yeah. KKR. So this one is investment management. KKR. Yeah. There's this pullback. Look at how fast it came back out to new high on volume, so that's good. APO is another one. So here's another. So this one, same thing, right? Came out really fast. The pullback on Friday. So look at the volume on Friday on the pullback. Not even half of the previous day. So that's very interesting. Yeah. TVG. All these are finance, investment management. So this group is doing really well, right? So this one, same thing, came out, pull back on the lower volume. Eris, another finance, investment management. This one is ready to come out, looking pretty strong. Yep. All these guys are doing EQH, another one. Like EQH is, it's a new one on my list. I haven't seen it before. This one, nice breakout. Look at this uptrend. Look good. 45-degree angle. Yeah. So all those guys are finance, investment management. Then we have JXN. Okay, let's look at this because this chart is strong. JXN. Insurance guy. Look at this. 45-degree angle. Very nice slope. It's extended though. Co-op. Let me see what else did I not mention here. TW. TradeWeb. So this is a nice flat base here. It hasn't moved much since it break out, so I don't know. BRP. Okay, BRP. Those are brokers, insurance brokers. BRP. Yeah, again, these are smaller cap, so expect more volatility. You can see a little bit more choppiness here. Ryan, again, smaller cap. This one looks a lot better. This is really tight action, very tight, and the volume is there to support it. So this one looks really healthy. Yeah, okay. Couple more stocks here. MasterCard. Payment processor. This one looks pretty good. Like, I mean, it's a nice slope. And CCS is the only home builder I have. Nice round cup base. Small cap. Yeah, looks good. See. Looks good. Let's look at the what's it called? Let's look at shit, lost my train of thought here. Toll Brothers. TOL. Making new high. Very interesting. Looks really good. Go to daily chart. So it broke out right here, and now it's almost like near the 20. It's at the 20% zone already. Let me look at the whole group as a residential, commercial builder. Yeah, like this one. Yeah, this week it accelerated actually. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. Short week next week. We'll see if more stocks. Again, we keep saying this. We're not seeing the breadth we want. But at least not on Nasdaq for sure. But we'll see if more financials will join. Even in the industrials, we haven't seen like a whole bunch of them join. So we'll see. But those are the ones this week. Still more narrow than I want it to be. Like should be more expand to more stocks.